Yo, good morning. Was good, Freedom Marchers? Was good.
In half of a mile, sharp right turn.
It's November 1st,
I-110 South.
2021. This is Tyrus Bain. Welcome to the Definition of Anarchy, where the Freedom Marchers roll. How y'all doing this morning? I know it's early. You know, I do my lives early now. Yeah. So, I'm going to get right into it. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Alpo. I'm doing something a little different today, but it's going to tie back into things that I usually talk about. Alpo Martinez is a cat out of New York. He was part of this gang of drug dealers. I forgot what the name of the gang is called. This is irrelevant. They made a movie about him. Him and Rich Porter and this other cat. It's called Paid in Full. All right. And it's based in Harlem, New York. And it's about how Alpo killed Rich Porter for money, for greed or whatever. And then when he got caught, he decided to snitch on his
Next sharp right.
On his comrades. He snitched on his comrades, got people locked up to reduce his sentence. And you know, he was feared and notorious in the streets. And then he got out, I think a few years ago, he got out of prison after about 20 some odd years. You know, he was 50 some years old. And, you know, he went right back to his old neighborhood, hung out with cats like it was nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like he never snitched. You know, and it seemed like he was, you know, that was gonna be that. But yesterday, it comes out that he was gunned down in Harlem. You know, he was gunned down in Harlem. He passed away. Somebody drove by and shot into his truck and killed him. Now, you know, there's a lot of speculation behind what happened to him and who did it and all this other shit. I have no idea. That's not the point of this video. It's for me. I'm not trying to determine and solve a mystery. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not from New York. I don't know nothing about New York, gang politics, nothing like that. So, I can't even begin to speculate on that. You know what I mean? But the thing is, the dude snitched and he killed his homie, right? He turned his back on his homie and killed him for money. And then he snitched and got other people locked up. Now, the thing is with those other people is they participated in, you know, this activity, right? They participated in criminal or illegal activity, depending on how far they went. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how I feel about it. If you sell drugs to someone who wants to buy drugs, that's not a crime, right? You know, you're just performing a mutually agreed upon transaction. That's it. Point blank, period. Like if you're just selling drugs to people, boom, you're behaving in capitalism. But if you like rob people or you hurt people in the process of selling those drugs, well, then you're a criminal. And you know, he got other people locked up. You participate in that lifestyle, you know, you increase your chances of getting locked up. You increase your chances of getting snitched on. You increase your chances of dying. You know, that's just a reality. You know, you can't really trust anybody in that type of world. Anybody that would, you know, well, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say anybody that would sell drugs. I would say anybody that would harm people and do sneaky shit and underhanded bullshit is probably going to snitch to save their own ass. And that's what Alpo did. You know, and this is the thing, man. You can think, oh, this shit happened a long time ago. I paid my pittance, and I did this, that, and the third. I served my time. I paid my debt to society. But there are other people that you affected along the way. You affected certain people with your actions. And not everyone is going to feel like you paid your debt because you've destroyed someone's life. And that's what Alpo did. He destroyed the lives of, Rich Porter's family, taking them out like that. And he ruined other people's lives, snitching on them. Now, here's the thing about snitching. If you participate in an activity that can get you locked up if you get caught, if you ain't got the balls to do it, don't do the activity. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't hold water, then, you shouldn't be out there trying to slang, Knowing it's illegal, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's right that they charge you for that, but it is what it is. This dude ruined lives, and he was notorious on the streets. He thought him being notorious on the streets and being feared was going to protect him from retribution. So he was out there, you know what I'm saying? And then at some point there were rumors that he killed 2 people. I don't know how true that is. That's some shit that Hassan Campbell had pushed. And I was still his moderator. But that's it. Karma got him, man. I say karma got him. And sometimes karma comes in the form of people who want to seek revenge for the life you destroyed. And that brings me to, will karma get you? Now, put that in the title, because I'm talking about the people who do things to people and ruin people's lives, like Mighty Mouse, right? Mighty Mouse did what he did to a 14-year-old girl, and God knows who else. He did what he did to a 14-year-old, took a plea deal, served some time, and he thinks that he's good. He thinks that he paid his debt to society. But this young girl that he did this to may never recover from what he did to her. And he will never be rehabilitated from what is in his heart and what's in his heart and what he desires. And it'll be different if he has some type of contrition, if he felt some type of remorse for what he did to this little girl. But he has demonstrated multiple times that he does not feel any remorse. He has zero contrition. He lied about the circumstances surrounding the charges. He lied about his age. He lied about the circumstances. He said he was pimping the girl and the mama out, when it turns out he took the girl to a hotel. Wasn't no pimping going on. So he lied about that, right? He lied about it. And the evidence is out there for everybody to see. My thing is, because he came out to defend, right? To defend what came out against him, instead of having some type of humility and being humble about it, he gets arrogant. He threatens people. You know what I'm saying? He completely ignores the reason that this came out, right? He just acts like, oh well, this ain't nothing. Come fight me. Y'all ain't shit. Y'all some pussies. And anybody that spoke out against a child molester or a child rapist, I'll say, he had to come at with threats, with oh, I'm a better fighter, and just no accountability, zero accountability. If you're not willing to take accountability for what you did, if you decide to ignore accountability for what you did because you feel like, well, I went through the system already and the system handled me the way the system is going to handle me, then you have not paid retribution for what you've done. And retribution will be paid. You know, you just don't know in what form it's going to be. So what makes it even worse is that you have these guys come out, these followers of yours, and they troll people, they threaten people, you know what I'm saying? Like this clown Lawrence Taylor, who came into my live stream yesterday and threatened and just, you know, basically a not so veiled threat against my family. And then before he came to a live stream I did, and you know, asked people if they wanted to have my address. You know what I'm saying? So you got people like that coming out to defend you and doing stupid shit like that, trying to get themselves killed, and you know, in a video game. And you know, you have these people, and you encourage it. You encourage that behavior. You encourage that behavior. I know you do, because people have come on your live stream and said, "Oh, I kicked this guy's ass," and who was talking shit about you, and you be like, "Yeah," or somebody will say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this and that." Oh, you are supposed to be a Christian who's about, you know, making things better and turning things around and paying for your sins and all this other shit. Instead, you're encouraging people to go after people who just want to put it out there that you lied about the circumstances surrounding your child rape charges, your carnal knowledge of a 14-year-old. You know what I'm saying? And then when in your video, you put it on the girl because she snitched on you. She went to school and ran her mouth. At that point, I knew you were not sorry for what you've done. And I knew you were lying. Anyway, listen. Karma comes for everybody. It's just the way it is. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. And the act that you committed against that young girl, nothing that has happened to you equals what you've done to her. And this goes for Mighty Mouse's little followers too. Mighty Mouse's little child rapist supporters. Because that's basically what y'all doing. You have no excuse anymore. All the information is out there. Yet you decide to still ride for this dude because you feel like you can get something out of it. You think you can get something out of rolling with Mighty Mouse because he has such a huge following. He has over 300,000 subscribers, and you know he's traveling around the world. And y'all think he got bread, which he might got bread. You know what I'm saying? He has, you know, he's monetized on YouTube. He gets commercials. He might be getting paid very well for that. But y'all think that y'all gonna get something out of that by rolling with him. You know what I'm saying? You're hanging out with a known child predator who has not showed any repentance, who has not, you know what I'm saying, showed any contrition, and you guys think it's all good. Y'all think that, oh, well he paid his debt to society and he's rehabilitated. No, he did not pay his debt to that little girl. Nope, he did not pay his debt to that little girl, and that's the debt that needs to be paid. How it's going to be paid, you never know, man. Karma works in mysterious ways. Good karma and bad karma. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be someone. It doesn't have the karma doesn't have to be as direct as it was for Alpo. Alpo was gunned down in Harlem. You know what I'm saying? He killed Rich Porter, I think, in Harlem. You know, it just it was the perfect karma. You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't have to necessarily be the case for Mighty Mouse. It could be something completely different. It could be something that happens over time. It could be a series of unfortunate events that occur that destroy his life. Who knows what that will be? But understand, you supporters of this child rapist, those of you who would attack someone who's exposing the lies that Mighty Mouse pushed about his charges, karma's going to come for you too, because you're actively supporting a child molester, and that makes you look a little fishy. That makes you look a little fishy. That makes you appear to be not having a problem with child molesters and child rapists. You have zero excuse in the world. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what he did. He picked a 14-year-old girl up from school, took her to a hotel,
in 2 miles, the exit
not even close to where she lives, started touching on her and all this other stuff, and then eventually he did what he did to her. A 14-year-old girl. When he was 29 years old. When he's a fully mature adult whose mental capacity and mental, you know, and his actions and his behavioral patterns and his you know what I'm saying? At that age, there's no excuse. At that age, you're not a maturing kid. You're not an adult, a maturing adult of 18, 19 years old. You know what I'm saying? You are the person you're going to be basically for the rest of your life. Yes, you can make some changes. You can turn some things around. But there are some base instincts and base behaviors that don't change. Especially your sexual proclivities.
Keep right.
At age 29, they are what they are. So y'all thinking that he went to prison and all of a sudden, oh, he came to Jesus, and oh, he don't do none of that stuff no more, and oh, you know, he ain't that person no more. You don't know that. You know what he told you. And, you know, I might even consider that. I might have even considered that if he was able to accept responsibility and accountability for what he did, but he's not. Instead, he wants to blame the system. He wants to blame the Commonwealth for having a 90-something% success rate. So he had to take a plea deal. Basically trying to say that he didn't do what they said he did. He just copped to it so that he wouldn't get so much time.
Next right.
Listen, no one cops to rape, child rape, unless they got evidence. Unless, you know what I'm saying, no one just cops to something like that.
2 miles to
You know what I'm saying?
Pacific Coast Highway.
The evidence that they would have to present would have to be rock solid. They would need, in order to convict somebody of child rape, there would have to be there'd have to be so much evidence that it would, beyond a shadow of a doubt, get your ass locked up in prison. And so that would, what would that entail? Maybe some DNA, you know, maybe some corroborating witness accounts. You know what I'm saying? Cameras, you know, video, maybe a video of you pulling into the parking lot of the hotel, you getting out of the car with her and taking her into the room. There are so many things, so many ways to get evidence against that. It's not like murder. Murder, you do need solid evidence. It's not just, oh, well, the state said that I did it and they're going to try to lock me up for it, so I might as well take a plea deal because the jury is just going to believe what the state says without evidence. No, there was some level of evidence that would convince the jury, and you understood that. Mighty Mouse understood that evidence could very well get him locked up for 50 years. Why? Because he did it. When you take when you cop a plea or when you plead guilty, you are at that point saying that you did it. You're admitting to it. You know what I'm saying? And you can say, oh, well, I just did that so I can get less time. But no one does that for something like that. Not for something that they would need hellified evidence for. I'm talking about hellified evidence. You don't just, so for something like that, you don't just, it's not something that you can just make up. It's not something that, oh, well, it's just going by what the girl said. No, they need more than that.
You have arrived at your destination.
And those of you
the route guidance is now finished.
Child rapist supporters of Mighty Mouse who believe that he just decided to, I decided just to take, I told them that I did it. I pled guilty just because, the state gets a 99% success rate and I didn't really do it. They just said I did it. And if they said I did it, then that's what's going to be. No, they have to prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. They have to prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. As a matter of fact, they don't even typically arrest people. You have to have evidence. You have to have some form of evidence just to get the warrant for the arrest. And then you have to build a case for the prosecutor to feel comfortable charging the individual. Just to get the charge, you got to have some level of evidence. Not just a girl saying, oh, well, he raped me. No. There's rape kits. There's, DNA collections, all that type of shit. So y'all can, if y'all act like, if y'all actually believe that Mighty Mouse, he just said he did it to just reduce the sentence, then y'all dumber than y'all look. And then for him to even lie, he even lied about the number of charges that he had at the same time. No, all those other charges he's talking about, those were charges from years before, 10 years before that. This child rape charge was a singular charge. There was no other charges. There were no, you know what I'm saying? You can look at his rap sheet. Most of those crimes happened in the 90s. So, those of you supporters, I think y'all know all this. I think you guys understand that there was, that he did what he did, and he has no remorse for it. Yet you still want to put yourselves out there, with your faceless asses and threaten people's families. Well, karma happens to people like that as well. Just so you know. Let's see what y'all talking about. What's up to Hobby Kai? Black Spring with Autumn, how you doing? Oh yeah, karma doesn't also have to affect you. Exactly. It could affect those you love. Did I block Lawrence Taylor? No, I don't block people. Nope. Nope, I don't block people. Unless they're spamming. Unless it's one of those bots that keep putting up them porn sites. No, I don't only delete and block spam because it's stupid. Spam is not free speech. Spam is an annoyance. But anyway, Yeah, karma just doesn't come for you. It can come to your family. It can come to someone you love. So understand that when you're doing things to people, when you cause harm to others, especially harm like that, like that ultimate betrayal of Alpo to Rich Porter. Rich Porter had family that affected, and perhaps that was some form of karma for him or people in his family for what maybe he did something. I don't know, but just this is your partner, and you killed him for greed, for money, and so now it just some might call it poetic justice. I don't have any feelings toward Alpo. You know what I'm saying? What I say is people saw Alpo for the person he was, and if you let your guard around him, shit happens, man. You're in the game. You're in the game where some ruthless shit happens by ruthless people to ruthless people, and you participate in that activity. You know what I'm saying? And shit, man. You gotta watch your front, your back. You can't trust anybody because everybody's greedy, and very few people are loyal in the drug game. Very few people, and that's why I say drugs should be legal, all of them. You know what I'm saying? Drugs should be legal because when you illegalize drugs, when you criminalize drugs, you create this atmosphere of danger because the black market is always going to provide the things that people want that are prohibited, like drugs, alcohol. When alcohol was prohibited, when they had the alcohol prohibition, bootlegging cracked, you know what I'm saying? The criminals came out and exploited it because you get to charge a premium for the danger of selling it to you while it's illegal. And now you got to worry about snitches. You got to worry about people getting pinched and snitching on you. So now you got to be, that's where the danger comes in. The danger doesn't come from selling the drugs itself. The danger comes from the criminalization of it, when you have to be careful and you have to watch what you say, and then people who slip up, you got to kill them and all this other shit. And also, when you legalize drugs, what you're doing is you're encouraging contamination of the drugs, right? Now we have to be careful. We got to make it spread out. We can't get caught with so much. We got to, you know what I'm saying? We got to break it up. It's hard to get it here. It costs so much money. Now we got to make it spread. So now you got to cut the cocaine with all kind of chemicals and make it more dangerous. Now you got crack. You got freebase. You know what I'm saying? Same thing happened with heroin. Not to say, look, doing drugs to me is retarded. You know what I'm saying? I like my mind to be clear, unaltered. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't drink alcohol. I don't do drugs. None of that shit. But, some people that's what they want to do, and someone who wants to shoot up heroin or sniff coke, they're doing that to their body. As long as they don't affect other people negatively while they're doing it, And when the drugs fuck with their brain so much that they start doing stupid shit and hurting other people, that's when it becomes a problem. But if somebody's minding their own business, they're shooting up heroin and they just laying out, and they're to theirself, and they just this is what they want to do with their life. That is what it is. You can, if it's somebody that you love that's doing the drugs, you might want to encourage them and talk to them and find out what's going on. Why do you got to do these drugs? Why do you have to escape? You can try to encourage them not to do it, but it shouldn't be about being locked up. And you know what I'm saying, rehabilitation is fine and all the other stuff. You want to get off the drugs, because you're it's starting to affect your life in a negative way. All that fine, but the criminalization of it, it's not good. But outside of that, everything surrounding that you do to ensure that your drug empire lasts and your drug empire expands, killing people, hurting people, robbing people. You know what I'm saying? Killing rivals. You know what I'm saying? Because you feel like they're taking up too much territory, or you want their territory. That's when it becomes a problem. You know what I'm saying? So, as far as Alpo goes, that's where it went. You know, he took it. You know, he took it too far, and he had to pay the price. You know what I'm saying? So, and everybody has to pay the price. Nothing is free. I gotta get out of here. Habakkuk says, I remember seeing someone catch a charge, and then someone later on in their generation got unfortunate. Have you ever seen some? Do you dirty and then find out later something that it happened to them? Yeah. Anyway, I gotta get out of here. Like, share, subscribe, and let's keep marching forward toward freedom, people. Peace.